Good morning. Happy Wednesday, y'all. Happy Wednesday. We had some fun yesterday, did we not? That was a lot of fun making bears. I ended up having to go in and I reattached those legs the right way. So we now have two bears that are actually sewed together correctly instead of backwards. So I actually got the legs sewed in correctly. I added a little thing to the middle of it. So this is the final product from yesterday's live. That was fun, was it not? Good morning, y'all. Good morning. So fun time on those. So today, what are we doing today? We are learning how to merander. I want y'all all to be able to merander a quilt. So if you don't have an embroidery machine, you don't have a long arm machine, I want you to be able to do that. So happy Wednesday to everybody. I hope everybody has had a good week so far. Mine's been a little busy, but that's okay. That's okay. So we got things going. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning to everybody. Happy Wednesday. Happy Wednesday, y'all. I need some more coffee. Happy Coffee Wednesday. Happy Coffee Wednesday to y'all. So today, what are we doing today? Like I said, we are going to learn to merander, and we're going to start small. We're going to do some small ones, then we're going to go up to a little bit bigger, and then we're going to go up to a baby quilt. So I want to show y'all that you can, the best way to learn is to start with a small one, just a little bit of small ones. One thing we are going to use is some quilting gloves. We're going to use some quilting gloves. Good morning, Maddie. That way this helps grip. This helps grip that fabric when you're moving it in the hoop or on the machine. So I'll give a few pointers as we go also. But first thing we're going to do, so I have this fun fabric panel that I got. I actually got 3 of them. So we're going to take one of them and we're going to cut it apart. We're going to cut one of these apart. So who likes Cocopellis? Who likes Cocopellis? We're going to have some fun with the Cocopellis. So what we're going to do, good morning, Miss Lisa. Good morning. Good morning. So what we're going to do is we're going to take the 2 small ones. We are going to sandwich those 2 small ones. Actually, I've got 4 of those, but we'll do 2 of them first. We'll do 2 of them first because we have 4 of them on here. Right? Isn't that the cutest panel? Like I said, I bought 3 panels. So, so then what we're going to do is, we're going to cut these 2 top out. Then we're going to sandwich those, and then we're going to merander those. So we're going to, like I said, we're going to start small, and then we're going to move to a bigger one. So then we have a bigger panel here that we're going to take and sandwich, and we're going to merander that one. So we're not stopping there, y'all. We got a couple hours, so we got plenty of time. So I don't know if I want to do this one or if I want to do a different one. So I have this fun quilt, y'all. Is that not fun? I'm contemplating it. Do we do this one for the merandering? I got one other baby one. Isn't that cute? This one is cute. Because we could totally merander this one. Because I was like, okay, we'll do that one. We'll do that one. Okay. So let's get started, guys. Let's get started so we have enough time. We're going to get started. So, like I said, what we're going to do is we're going to cut these 2 out. We're going to cut these 2 out and sandwich them. I'll show y'all, explain what sandwiching means. It's like I was explaining to somebody the other day. It's like everything that has to do with quilting seems like, good morning, Mr. Tyler. I hope you guys have a wonderful trip. I'm going to try and be there before you guys leave, Tyler. So everything that has to do with sewing seems to have like a food meaning on it. So needless to say, like I said, we're going to sandwich a quilt. We have jelly rolls. We have layer cakes. Seriously, guys? Is that all we think about is food and quilting? Okay, maybe. Fun times, right? Fun times. So, like I said, I'm going to move y'all down here a little bit so you can see. So what we're going to do is we're going to cut these out. We're going to do 2 of these. We're going to go ahead and do 2 of these. And I already have the bigger one. Coffee, yes. We need coffee. Coffee, 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 right? Charm packs, yes. It's like all these different things, right? All these different things. So now we have 2 of these. We're going to cut 2 of these out. Excuse me. So I'm going to cut this one out here. We're going to get some batting and some backing here. Thank you, thank you. I wonder how big these squares are. Let's see. Because I have... We could add back. I'm wondering if this is a hair mess here. Ooh, that works. It's a 10-inch square. That works. So now we need some batting. Stay there, bear. Okay, so we're gonna take this batting. We're gonna cut a piece, couple. I don't know if that's big enough here. Haha, it is. Okay, so we're gonna get a couple of those cut here because we need 2 pieces. I don't need my pinking shears. Pinking shears, guys. They work really well with sewing. I was like, aren't pinking shears for like, thank you for the coffee! Yum! Thank you! Happy coffee to you. I appreciate your coffee. So we're gonna cut a couple pieces of batting here. I think this will be enough for the other one too, so. And then we'll move to the bigger one. So like I said, we're gonna start small. We're gonna do 2 small ones. So we're gonna do sandwiching a quilt. I'm gonna explain what sandwiching a quilt is. So sandwiching a quilt is you have your backing, then you have your batting, and then you have your top piece. And when you get them all pieced together, that's called sandwiching. That is called sandwiching. But I think, being we're gonna use an exactly a 10-inch square, I gotta cut these to the exact size of that square too, so. That way we get that on there. So we're gonna trim this batting to 10 inches. How's everybody's week gone so far? Hopefully everybody's week has gone good so far. Did we not have fun yesterday with bears? Bears was a lot of fun, y'all. And I did get that reposted on YT for you guys. I did get that reposted on YT. And I went and fixed the legs on that second bear. I seam ripped that out and re-sewed them on and got him stuffed. So we now have 2 bears. So tomorrow, that was fun, right? Tomorrow, celebrating my son's 16th birthday today. Well, happy birthday to him. Happy birthday. Oh my gosh. I have 2 boys. They're 29 and 30. You're very welcome. I love kids. I love kids of all ages. Kids of all ages. Okay, so now we're going to take this one. So we're going to get these ready. That way we are good to go. Trim this one down. $29 and $16, 2 boys. Wow. That's a big, you went back and said, okay, let's have another one, huh? My husband and I were talking about that today, not having one. Heck no. Oh my gosh, right, Tyler? I'm excited. I love my viewers. My viewers are awesome. It is so much fun to teach sewing and different things and tricks on sewing. So it is awesome. Thank you, Tyler. Fun, fun. Okay, so we're getting these. So we have, these are 10 inches. Once we get these all sandwiched, we are going to be, I'm going to show y'all how we're going to merander here. So, like I said, sandwiching a quilt. You have your backing, you have your batting, and then you have your top fabric. And then that way, these are all sandwiched on here. So, and when you're merandering, I know when I showed y'all when we did the embroidery on the machine. Oh, well, thank you. I appreciate you watching. I appreciate you watching. It's lots of fun. Lots of fun. So I appreciate it. Boy mom as well. 27, 29. Very cool. Very cool. Boy moms, right? I tell ya. So I know when we did the embroideries and we hooped those embroideries, I said we do not do 505 spray because you want to be able to move that fabric and get it straight in there. When you're merandering, I do use a 505. So just a little bit, not a lot. 505, guys. I've used a few different ones, and I know a lot of people use different ones. But, and if you don't know what 505 spray is, just a temporary adhesive. And I find that the 505 spray does not goop up the needle. Doesn't goop up the needle. So we're going to just spray just a little bit. Does not take a lot. Just enough to keep the fabric in place. That way it doesn't move. That way it doesn't move while we're, that's it, not a lot. So then we'll grab the back one too. And I spray on the batting. I don't spray on the fabric. The other side. 3 boys. When you made mug rugs. Very cool. I think you're going to like this. I think you're going to like this. So this one is, did you see yesterday's with the bears? Bears was fun yesterday. Boy mom here. 2 in heaven. Well, good vibes to you. Oh, yes. Absolutely. Well, I love my boys lots. I've got 5 wonderful grandkids from my boys. You missed yesterday. I posted it on YT if you want to go have fun watching it. It was a fun day because yesterday we had fun. We made bears yesterday. So that was a lot of fun. That one was a lot of fun. Even though I accidentally sewed the legs on backwards. I accidentally sewed the legs on backwards. Okay, so this one's all sandwiched. Let's go ahead and get this other one sandwiched here. We'll go ahead and get this one sandwiched also. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. Yesterday's live was a lot of fun. So let me get this piece of batting all trimmed. Like I said, we're going to do 2, these will end up probably, they could either be bigger mug rugs or they can be pot holders, whatever you want for them. They could even be like I've decided that these could also be mouse pads. These could also be mouse pads because they work. I've tried it. Oh, well, thank you. I really appreciate all y'all. I really appreciate all y'all hanging out with me. Okay, so we have that one. Now we're going to grab this one. And that way we can get this one. Then we're going to cut around this one here. And like I said, this is called sandwiching. When you do the back of your quilt, the batting in the middle, and then the front of your quilt. We're just making sandwiches. Making sandwiches. Okay, come around this side. And then we'll move over to the sewing machine and we're going to get it ready to merander. And when you're merandering, you're dropping the feed dog on your machine. So as long as your machine has the ability to drop that feed dog, you can merander. That's why I want y'all to see this, because pretty much any of y'all can do a quilt. Because I know, you know, a quilt, mug rugs, hot pads, anything like that. So, like I said, we have the back of the quilt, we have the batting, and then we have the front of the quilt. And with that, merandering, yes. Yeah. It is called mirandering. It's kind of just like a free motion. And I'm going to show y'all something here in a minute. So we're going to take, I'm going to draw something out for you guys so you can see what exactly we're going to do here. Because it's just freehand. It's just freehand. So, and you do, like I said, I put 505 spray on my stuff that I mirander. That way it doesn't move. Meandering. Meandering. I can't pronounce very well. Meandering. Freehand quilting. I'm going to call it freehand quilting. Hey, I don't mind y'all correcting my pronunciation. Pronunciation. Yes. Meandering. Hey, you're right. It is that. Meandering. Meandering. Okay. So I'm going to show y'all what we're going to do. I know I have a piece of paper in here because there was a one that didn't have anything. So we're going to take that. So I'm going to kind of show you what we're going to do. Okay. So thanks for the follow. Okay. So you see this piece of paper. So what we're going to do is I'm going to show you how we're going to actually meander. Thank you. I'm going to grab a darker one here. So what we're going to do is what you do, it's a temporary adhesive, fabric adhesive, 505. And there's a few different ones out there, but I find that the 505 doesn't gum up my needle. So everybody likes a little different ones. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a blank piece of paper and I'm going to kind of show you how I'm going to do this. And literally you're going to draw. You're just going to sit there and draw with your piece of fabric. And don't think about what you're doing. You remember when as a kid you sat and doodled? It's kind of what you're going to do with this. So what you're going to do is you're going to start at, I always start at the edge. And what I do is I just come and I just start moving. I just start moving all over the fabric, kind of like this, and just keep going. And like I said, there's no rhyme or reason or right thing on how you're going to do this. You just keep moving all over your fabric like this and just draw with that piece of fabric. You're just going to draw with that piece of fabric and go all over it and just keep moving and go over off the other edge. And so kind of what we're going to do on that quilt, you're literally just going to kind of draw. You're going to take instead of drawing with a marker, like I said, instead of drawing with that marker, you're just going to draw with your hands. You're going to take and draw with your hands. So like I said, you're just going to go, and this is a good way to practice, You start and you just kind of draw in those just squiggly lines. You try your best just to keep going in there, and then you try your best not to go back over the line that you've already drawn. Not go back over that other line that you've already gone over. So then you come back and then you just go. So pretty much meandering. Thank you. The meandering this is what we're going to do. So we're going to move over to the sewing machine and I'm going to show y'all how we do this. It turns out really cool. Sometimes you can use a coordinating or color of thread that kind of doesn't really show, or you can use one that pops. I'm thinking I'm going to use white on this one. We've got white in and out of this pattern, so I'm thinking we're going to use white on here. So let's move over there and see what we can come up with, guys. Let's see what we can come up with. So we're going to come over here. Cancel. I got to find... And you got to change your foot on your machine. Actually, I think I may use, well, I don't know. Good morning. All right, Miss Lisa, thank you again for joining, and thanks for everything you do. I appreciate everything you do. Okay, so we have this all sandwiched, guys. Now what we're going to do is we need to load this foot on there. You are not rude at all. like I said, I don't mind. I don't mind you telling me because, like I said, sometimes I pronounce them wrong and not rude at all. I didn't take it as being rude. So meandering, I got you now. I got you now. Like I said, sometimes I'm like, just arrived. My name's JoJo. What are you? So I am showing y'all how to meander. Thank you. I'm showing y'all how to meander a quilt. So we're starting small. We're doing a small one. And then our next one is kind of a bigger one, kind of like it would go in a centerpiece of your table. And then the next one we're going to do is a baby quilt. So we're going to see if we can get all these done today. We'll see if we can get all these done today. I think we can. I have faith. I have faith we can do this. Okay. So the foot it's an O foot. So this is your quilting foot. As you can see, it's got give. So it actually has give on it. So that way it doesn't push down on your fabric when you're going. So this is a quilting foot. And this is a letter O on the, so this is a brother luminaire. So I don't know if all the brothers have the same letters of foots, but this is an O on your luminaires. So we're going to loosen this one here. And I always tighten mine. Like I said, I tighten mine with a screwdriver. Just a little bit. You don't want to tighten it down really hard, but you just want to give it just a little bit of a snug. Because if you don't give it a snug, then your foot sometimes comes loose and then you end up breaking a needle. Just a little bit of a snug. There we go. Yes, that is, yeah, so it is a free motion foot. And that may be the name of it too. It may be called a free motion foot. I'd have to go back and look in my book. I'm bad. It's been I just grab it. I'm like, well, that's the foot I need. So, but oh, you're very welcome. You're very welcome. Okay, so we have that loaded. We're gonna load white thread in here. We're gonna load white thread because I think white thread is a good thread color for this. It'll make it show up too. It's gonna make it show up. Da-doom. Get that one going. Okay. So now what we gotta do is I'm gonna come back over here. We're gonna flip y'all around here. Flip this camera. Oh, did I flip? Okay. So we flip the camera. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna come up here. This is, like I said, this is a luminaire too. Each one of your machines has a different way of doing this. But what we wanna do is we wanna drop that feed dog. We wanna drop that feed dog. And in order to drop that feed dog, you have that first icon up there is the one for freehand stitching. So I'm going to click that and it dropped my feed dog down. So in the feed dog, if you don't know what your feed dog is, it's those little grippers, the thing that moves back and forth like this down here. That's your feed dog, the one that pulls your fabric. You don't want your fabric pulling. You want to be able to be moving that fabric. You want to be the one moving this fabric. So you want to make sure you drop that feed dog down. A lot of times on your machines, I've had machines where if you have your sewing space, around the back side of it is like a switch. Sometimes you pull that switch, that'll drop the feed dog down too. Check your manual, see, and you'll be able to see which one goes where on that. So, so I don't use a presser foot. I use I just use the start and stop on my machine. I don't have a lot of space, so the more space I can gain, there it is. And if you can keep your stitches at the same speed the whole time, and move at the same speed, your stitches will stay the same length as you're moving around that quilt. So let's go ahead and do one. So like I said, so I'm going to start up here and I'm just going to hit start. Like I said, the feed dogs aren't going to pull it, so I'm going to start moving it. So I'm going to start it there, and we're just going to start moving here. Like I said, just draw with that piece of fabric. You're just going to draw with that piece of fabric here. Just keep drawing around. And like I said, this is your pattern. There is no right or wrong way to do this. And the easiest way to start doing this is you take smaller pieces. take smaller pieces because you can make mug rugs out of them. You can make pot holders out of them. You can make placemats out of those. So you're just kind of closing up all that space in here and drawing. You're literally drawing with that piece of fabric. The bigger piece of fabric you get, you may want to get, I have gloves that I use. We'll be using those on the next size up. And then they also have like rulers that you can go and grab the fabric. You push down and it moves the fabric for you, or with you. It kind of pushes and moves the fabric. So, but yeah, you're just literally drawing. You're drawing. This is more or less your pin, and you're just drawing on this fabric. You just kind of move your fabric around. Just keep moving it. Just keep moving. Just keep moving. I keep going back to Dory. I think I like Dory. I'm going to have to make something with Dory. I want to close up that space, and you can make your lines as tight as you want. You can make them, you can do a smaller space, you can do a bigger space, however you want to do it. Just keep drawing around on this piece of fabric. Like I said, then we'll bind this little, we'll call it a pot holder. We're going to call this one a pot holder. With the smaller ones, you can kind of turn your piece of fabric. Like I said, your feed dog is dropped down. So with your feed dog dropped down, it's not going to pull that fabric. So the fabric's only going to move where you move it. So, and you try your best not to run over the lines that you've already sewn. So we just keep going here. We're about ready to get to the end. And what I do is I sew off the end, because you end up binding the end of it, so that keeps that stitch stabilized on there. So I'll just sew right off that side right there, and we'll cut that. Don't worry, I got another one here. I have another one. So as you can see, we've stitched right around there, and you can see it on the back. You see how we've done that on the back? Like I said, you're literally drawing. You're literally drawing with your sewing machine. You are drawing with that sewing machine. So let's do another one. We have another one here, guys. So this is your sandwiched piece of fabric. So you have your backing fabric, you have your batting in the middle, and then you have your top fabric. So this is sandwiched. And then I used a little 505, just a little bit, just to keep it stabilized. Just to keep it stabilized. Yeah, it's lots of fun. It's lots of fun. Start with a small piece. Start with small pieces. The small pieces works really well. So let's go ahead and do this again. Like I said, you drop that feed dog down on your machine, which the feed dog is I don't know how I explain them. They're the grippers underneath the sewing plate. So underneath your sewing plate here, that gripper that goes like this, that is your feed dog. So each machine has a different place that it drops down. Some of your machines on the back side of here, there's like a switch that you pull it and it drops those feed dogs down. As long as you can drop that feed dog down, you can do this meandering. So teeth. Thank you. Teeth. See, y'all help me out. I don't mind you helping me out at all. So please help me out. So meandering, thank you very much for that. So this is called meandering. This is just free motion quilting. This is just free motion quilting that you do. So I'm going to move this up here. I'll put those in there. Okay. So what I do is I start at one corner. So I start at one corner and then you just keep moving. You're just literally doodling with this piece of fabric. And like I said, I start and stop my machine with this button. I don't use a foot pedal. You can use a foot pedal however you like to do it. So we're gonna keep going here. And like I said, just keep moving in circle and in curves. Or you can do however you want. I mean, whatever pattern you want. You want to draw a face? Draw a face. You want to draw your words? You can put words on here. I mean, there's just so many different things, because wherever you move your fabric, that needle's going to stitch. So your needle has become your pin. That needle has become your pin. So you just keep moving as you're moving around. And just try your best not to go back and stitch over where you've already stitched. I guess in the quilting industry, that's like a big no-no. Don't quilt over where you're already quilted unless it's meant to do that. So, but they have all kinds of templates that you could use. You could have some fun on this. You could actually quilt around this cocopelli. That would be kind of fun. You could draw right around that cocopelli. Make that cocopelli pop out. But like I said, I like to just meander. This is like, this is totally therapy for me to sit and do this. I can sit and do this all day long. And the nice thing is if you have bigger quilts, you can take and use like pull noodles. They have this really cool thing that I used for a long time. It's called a John Flynn frame. It's under $200, y'all, on Amazon. You can get it, and the holes that they give you is big enough to do a what do you call it? Probably a lap quilt. But my husband went and made me bigger poles to be able to do a king size quilt on that one. So, but anyways, you can totally do this, just drawing with your needle. And don't think. Don't even think. As you see, I'm not thinking. I'm just sitting here moving this piece of fabric and just keep moving it around on there. When you start thinking, that's where you end up like, wait a minute, I'm going too slow. Wait a minute, I'm going too fast. Don't even think about it. Just kind of, just move the fabric with it. So, like I said, I end up sewing off the one edge, because you end up binding your quilt, your mug rugs, your placemats, whatever you're working on. That way, your piece of thread doesn't come off. So, it makes it, the smaller ones are easy. The smaller ones that are easy, because as you can see, you just kind of move your fabric around, turn it this way, turn it that way. And then sew right off that edge, y'all. Okay, we're gonna cut this one here. Oh, I'll tell you with the pull noodle. Let's go back here. We'll go back here again. We're gonna go back because we're gonna sandwich another thing here. So I'm gonna show y'all here. Put you up here. So this is what we did. This is how you can practice. Just take a marker and just start doodling. Just start doodling, because this is literally what you're doing with your piece of fabric. You are doodling. So it works out really well. Just doodle on a piece of fabric. So, or on a piece of paper. Once you know, and don't even think about it. Just go doo-doo-doo-doo-doo. And then that's what you're going to do with your piece of fabric. You're just going to go doo-doo-doo-doo-doo. As you can see, when I did it, you don't really think about it. You don't really think about it. Okay. Pull noodle. So pull noodle. If you have bigger pieces of fabric, you can take and wrap your whole sandwiched quilt up on that pull noodle. And then when you have it under your needle, you can take and move it, and it keeps it all taut right there. So works out really well. My recommendation is Google John Flynn frame. John Flynn, F-L-Y-N-N frame. Oh my gosh, it's a game changer, and you can use it on a regular sewing machine. Yeah, you can. Just it would be a lower loft, I think is what they call that, a lower loft, so it wouldn't be as thick. But yeah, you could totally. And some flannel quilts, you don't even add anything in the middle. Some of the flannel quilts, you don't even add anything in the middle. So you could totally do those differently. Okay, so we have officially made 2 pot holders. I'm calling them pot holders. We're gonna do pot holders here, guys. But as you can see, it's all quilted. It's all quilted. I do all my t-shirt quilts with regular sewing machine. Right? it works out great, right? Okay, so we've done 2 small ones. Let's move to something bigger. We're going to move to something bigger. So the next thing bigger, I said I had these panels. So now we're going to go a little bigger. Now we're going to go a little bigger. So we're going to do this one. After we do this one, y'all, we're going to go big. Not so big, but we're going to do a baby quilt. We're going to do a baby quilt. So the next one we do is this one. So this one will come up next. I wanted to start small, then we go medium, then we go big. At least as big as we're going to go. So use blankets and, oh, what a phenomenal idea. That's a good idea. Nice, right? Oh my gosh, too cute. Okay, so now we need a piece of backing fabric on here. Thanks for the follows, y'all. Thanks for the follows. And just as a reminder, I do repost all my lives up on YT. So if you missed yesterday, we made bears yesterday, so I did post that. We are merandering today, Miss Amy. We are merandering today. So we've already started small. We started small on this one. So we made 2 of those. Now we're moving up. We're going to do a big one. This would be a really cool centerpiece. A very, right? I live in Arizona. I love Arizona. So I like Arizona. So, and I have Cocopellis. I have a Cocopelli that my dad and I made. I'll have to show y'all one day. But anyways, so now what we're going to do is we're going to sandwich this. We are going to sandwich this. I'm going to move my cutting table on this one. Because I need a big piece of fabric for the back. What am I going to put on the back of that? Almost thinking, why not? Why not? How about we do this one? We'll do this on the back. It's got colors. It's got colors. It's a polka dots. Polka dots. So we're going to put y'all down there like that. So I'm going to lay this out here. So then we're going to cut this here. Thanks for hanging out today, guys. This is fun. So we're going to trim this and then we'll trim the top. And then we'll get a piece of batting to go in here also. Leave another piece to do something else with, guys. Another piece to do something else with. So then we have batting. Let's get a piece of batting, cut the same piece, or same. Sandwiching is the hardest part, guys. You get it all sandwiched. So what we'll do is we'll trim this. And the pieces you trim off, I use for mug rugs or whatever. So don't throw those pieces out. You'll use them again. And you can actually tape those pieces together if it's not big enough to do a mug rug or a pot holder. Keep those small pieces. You'll use them. So I'll use that right there for mug rugs. I'll use that for mug rugs, guys. All right, so we're going to trim the top of this, and then we will go ahead and use some 505 spray. So we have the top of it. Isn't that cool? I'm really liking this. So the top of it with some batting. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take this 505 spray. Like I said, you want to just use a light spraying. You don't want to spray a lot on there. So what we're going to do is we're going to fold that fabric back, and I spray on the batting. I don't spray on the fabric. So I spray on that batting. So what we do is, as you'll see, just light sprays. And you want to do this when you're doing meandering. You don't want to do this when you're quilting in the hoop. I'm going to try doing the design quilting on a bowl. Oh, nice! No, play around. Play around. Absolutely. That's what's fun about sewing. I was like, you know what? My goal, I would love to own a quilt shop. I would love to own a quilt shop and sit and do this all day long and give classes and just have fun, you know, and I would give free classes back to the younger generation. I mean, anybody. I love giving free classes too. So, I currently do free classes. I do, I only charge for the supplies, you know, because I'd go completely broke if I didn't. Which comments? Let me see. I missed your comments. Hold on. Let me go back to you. Where you at? The Arizona theme? I did see the Arizona theme. And yes, it is totally an Arizona theme. Is that the comment you're talking about? Or did yours get ghosted? Sometimes your comments get ghosted and I don't see them. So, okay. So we're going to just spray, like I said, just a light, just little touch. Which comment are you talking about, ma'am? Okay. So we sandwich that one there. So now we're going to turn it. The other one, so the bigger one will have to go to the, and layer it on the bed there. So sometimes your comments get filtered out and I don't see them. So if you can throw it on there again for me, ma'am. So we're just spraying just a little bit on there. And we'll get this side. And then we'll put that backing on here. Then we'll put the backing on here. Okay. So now we'll lay this one down. That spray won't mess up. No, so correct. So the 505 spray is the spray I use because it does not gum up your needle. You don't want to use a lot of it. You don't want to use a lot. You want to just use enough to, we're going to iron this too. We're going to iron this because it has some wrinkles in it. And when you're doing the hand quilting, you don't pull it as taut as you do when you're like quilting in the machine or something like that. So, but yeah, so the 505 spray is a temporary adhesive. It's made for sewing. This one is actually made for sewing. So yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. It's a lot of fun. Lots of fun. So we're going to actually go ahead and we are going to go ahead and press this just a little bit that way. And then we can spray it here. I'm heating my iron up here. I'm going to spray a little bit of, I like the Best Press. I don't know. I just started using this probably last year. But I have to say, I really like the Best Press. I ended up buying a whole gallon of it. I tried to make my own. Yeah, that didn't work out. Miami. In downtown Miami. I think I'm missing some of your comments. Oh, this, are you talking about here, the sewing shop in downtown Miami? Thanks for the follow. Thanks for the follow, y'all. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. So we're going to press this here. Get rid of these wrinkles. Yes, I got you. Okay, yes, yes. There is a quilt shop in downtown Miami. It is a really cool little quilt shop. I don't know why that wouldn't like it. I have been there. Yes, I have been there. Actually, I got this thread there. They had like this thread. It was crazy. They had them like discounted for like $3.99, and that's a big spool of thread. So, but I've bought quite a few different things there. So, very cool. You use another type of glue, and I pinned mine to the floor, and I glued my... Oh my gosh, that is so funny. I mean, it's funny, but not funny. It is funny. It's funny. We have fun with that, right? Our kids end up being part of it, so. Okay. So like I said, we're just going to press this, and then we're going to spray, and like, spray just a little bit of that, that glue on there. And like I said, I spray on the batting. I don't spray on the fabric. And I just do a little bit of a spray. We're going to turn that off. So what I do is I pull it back just a little bit. It was funny. Yeah, that probably was funny. So like I said, I just, as you can see, I just literally just barely press that spray. Just barely press it because it does not take much. It does not take much. The back end's a little bit bigger than that, but that's okay. That's okay. We're going to turn it here. Somebody with a loud truck leaving. Spray here. And then I just push the fabric like this. If you push it and it kind of pulls it over tight there. And we're going to turn this one right here. And then kind of push it over. That way it just pushes it tight there. Okay. So now, do we want to use... I probably could know some of your family. I probably could know some of your family. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this to the sewing machine. Do we want to use the white thread again? Do we want to use the white thread or do we want to have some fun? Let's see. Let me see. Because we could have some fun with this, y'all. We could totally have some fun. Hold on. Let me look. Because I'm going to look and see. Because I love variegated thread, y'all. I love variegated thread. Variegated thread is a lot of fun. Let's see. Ooh. How about that one? Right? Oh my gosh. Great minds think alike. So this is a variegated thread. I think we will use this one. Right? All right. Awesome. We're going to go with this one. And you know what? We're going to leave white on the back because the white on the back is going to show up. So let's go have some fun. Let's go have some fun. And then we will move on to that baby quilt. Then we will move on. Thank you. Thank you. I always got to wave at him. He's the cutest thing. Oh, well, thank you. I appreciate that. I try to make it easy for y'all because I want all y'all having fun with me. I want all y'all having fun. Oh, very cool. Well, you have to have your mom come watch one day. That blue, right, is going to be gorgeous. It is cool. I don't know if you guys can see, but it's variegated. It is a variegated thread because it goes to different colors there. So I think it's going to be cool. So what we're going to do is we're going to rethread this machine. And thankfully, threading this machine is fairly easy. So, oh, and I just dropped that. Get back here. Oof. Thread that one. Get that one threaded. Thread away. Okay. So on this one, I'm actually going to use some gloves. So on the gloves, you have a grippers on one side. That makes it where you can actually... Very cool. So what you're going to do is with these gloves, you'll have them on. So you have the grippers here and you'll see that it'll make it where your hands don't slip across that fabric because it makes it a lot easier to do this. So I'm going to wear some gloves this time and we're going to grip. Just as an FYI, go get you some gardening gloves. Hold on. Oops. That's fine. You can get you some gardening gloves. Good morning, Damon. My son. Y'all, this is my baby son. Well, good morning, my son. You are awesome. And I have to say, my son sews too. I got him sewing too. I need to get him sewing more. So what we're going to do is, like I said, they have the grippers on this one side, but you can use gardening gloves because I'm not sure if these are gardening gloves. I don't remember. But they have the gardening gloves, have that on the one side too. So you don't actually have to buy the quilting gloves. You can just use these gloves. So, all right. So now what we're going to do, Damon, we're meandering this morning. We're quilting. So now what we're going to do is, like I said, so we're going to start on one corner here. We're going to start on one corner. And then we're going to work our way to the other side. We're going to work our way to the other side. And remember, we're just going to draw. We're going to draw with this machine. So we're going to take and start. And just start moving. And like I said, the gloves make it, as you see, I'm able to move this a lot easier with the gloves. It's just going to go across. And you just keep doodling here. You just doodle with your machine. I'm going to turn it up just a little bit. Depending on how fast your machine is going is how fast you can move that piece of fabric. And you're going to find, and don't get exasperated, because you're going to find that you break your thread. Because it's really easy to move too fast, move too slow, and then your thread breaks. But like I said, once you figure it out, it works out really well. So we're going to quilt like this. Move across this. Thanks for joining this morning, Damon. You were awesome. Tell the kids I said hi. So we're going to go around there and just literally just keep drawing with your piece of fabric. Just keep drawing with your piece of fabric. And we've got a space up here that's still not quilted, so we're just going to come back up here. You just kind of try and move and close out those spaces. And you can make it as tight a quilting as you want. If you want it really tight quilting, you can do really tight quilting. Or you can just do loose quilting. This is like kind of medium. It's, you know, it's not really huge, but it's not too small either. So we're going to come across, come back over here. And there's not really a pattern. You just kind of move across your fabric here. So we're going to go down here. I'm just drawing doodles here. Just drawing doodles here, guys. Moving around. Then we're going to turn this fabric this way. Said, you can just keep on turning and turning. Wherever it feels comfortable there. Once you get to a bigger piece of fabric that you're going to see when we move over to that baby quilt. When we move over to the baby quilt, you're going to see that we will actually have to pretty much go in rows on that one. We'll have to go in rows on that one. So we're going to come back over this way. And my goal every time is to be able to go through the whole piece of fabric that I got going without stopping. I like to go through the whole thing without stopping. It always feels good. You're like, yes, I did it. I did it without breaking a piece of thread. Yes. Just adding more and more doodles here, y'all. Like I said, you can do whatever kind of design you want. If you want to draw names, you can draw names. If you want to draw squares, draw circles, I mean, however you want to draw. Like I said, it's your quilt, it's your design. And they have, you can do, they have stuff, it's called ruler work. I haven't ever been able to master that one. I like the freehand. I like the freehand. I like to do loops. Loops are fun. Problem is I end up looping. I'll loop one way and then I'll go loop another way and then it looks funky, and then so this is my favorite thing to do, is just do this meandering. The meandering is fun. Just keep going. Just keep going. Just keep going. Just filling up those spaces. Just filling up those spaces there, y'all. And I know a lot of people start in the middle and work their way out. I think when you use the glue and keep the fabric all taut on your fabric, or on your batting, I think you're okay to just do it this way. I've always done it this way. I like to do it this way, so, and it seems to always work. But you just keep drawing. Just keep drawing on your piece of fabric. Maybe I'll have to do a live and show y'all how to use a pull noodle someday. I don't know if I have enough space. I'll see if I have enough space, I'll show y'all how to do a pull noodle. How about that? Just keep moving, and then you have an open space up there, so we're gonna go close that space up a little bit. Just keep doodling on your fabric. Your noodle is your needle is your noodle. Now I'm going back to noodles. Your needle is your pen, y'all. So you're using your needle as your drawing pen. Just don't think about it as sewing. Just think about it as you're drawing. You're just doodling, and it's good therapy. It is good therapy, y'all. At least that's what I call it. It's my therapy. This one's gonna be cool. Really liking this fun fabric, y'all. Really liking this fun fabric. Come down there. Go up here. Like I said, there is no right or wrong. Just draw. Just keep drawing. And I'll tell you, the gloves make a big difference. As you see, because you'll find if you don't have the gloves, when you get to the bigger pieces like this one, trying to move that fabric, your hand will move across that fabric and it'll slip. And then when you slip, you end up with a stitch that ends up like larger, or it breaks the thread. So then you're like, no! This way. It makes it nice with this machine too, because I have a big table on mine. They have, if you don't have a big table, they have those plastic tables that you can add to your machine that aren't too much. I'm trying to remember what they're called, but it makes it kind of nice. Isn't this turning out cool? I'm excited, guys. Super excited. And remember, when you get to that final edge, what you're going to do is you're going to sew right off the edge on that final one here. And sorry I'm missing your comments, guys. I'll come back to them once we get this one all quilted here. Once we get this one all quilted here, guys. Come across. And then like I said, I just sew right off that edge. When you sew right off the edge, it makes it where, when I sew off the edge, it makes it where you can just, when you're binding it, you just bind the edge of that. See, Damon, you need to be on my lives. You help me. Damon's awesome. Damon is awesome. Okay, so, y'all. We just quilted this. How cool is that? So how long did it take freehanding? You know, I probably for about a month practiced doing placemats. Damon will tell you we had so many placemats it wasn't even funny, because I kept practicing, and that was what I practiced on. Was placemats, because placemats are just like the perfect size. Placemats and mug rugs, they're the perfect size to be able to practice on. And once you practice enough, you're like, oh. And I'll tell you, it's going to click one day. One day it's going to click and you're like, oh my gosh, this is easy. I promise you, it is easy. So you'll see on the back here. You'll see on the back. See that? Literally all I did, how do you attach the blocks together if you make a big quilt? So the big quilt, I'll have to do a live on that one. You just keep trying. I promise you, keep trying and do smaller pieces. I'm like turning the fan on. I'm hot here. Just make your smaller pieces. Do smaller pieces. When you do smaller pieces, it works out really well. It works out really well. So the bigger pieces, if you do the bigger pieces like this, or this, like if you were to attach these, so what you could do is you could take and, like if I wanted to attach these two together, I would take and sew these two together like this. And so I would sew them together, or actually I would sew them this way. I would actually go this way. So what I would do is I would sew these together. And then when you do it this way, then, or you could do it as a rag quilt. So you could sew it this way, fold it out. And then what you would do is you would take a piece of binding. You would take a piece of binding, you would sew it right sides down here. If I had a piece of binding here. Sew it right sides down here. Fold it over that edge and then fold that side and then sew it down here. And then that's how you would attach them like that. We'll have to do that one day. We'll have to do that one day. Or you could rag quilt it. You could totally rag quilt it too. Because if you did these like this, sashing, thank you, sashing. So we'll have to do that one day. So, but yeah, you could totally do the rag quilt too. Because if you did the rag quilt, you could just take and cut this right here and make it fray. So it will work out really well. Okay, so y'all, so we have done a smaller one. We have done a bigger one. We've done this bigger one here. So you see how we've gone from a small one to a bigger one. All right, y'all, you ready to do that baby quilt? Now we're going to do a baby quilt. I need a drink of coffee first. I need a drink of coffee. So I'm going to have to, hold on, because I think I'm going to have to, I think we'll use this on the back and we'll use some flannel on the back. Babies love flannel. It's soft. So I got this panel at the quilt shop at Mole Queens. I got it in Mole Queens in the Valley. So let me see if there's a name on it, because the panel is made, let me see, because there's got to be a name on it. Somebody told me the other day and I didn't realize it. The name of the panel is on the side. It's made by Joanne James for Blank Quilting Corp. So nope, there's a, drag the puzzle piece. Come on, give me the puzzle piece. Okay, there's a puzzle piece. Okay, so there is, so it's called, what the hey, hold on. Okay. I don't know what that was. So it's called Joanne James for Blank Quilting Corp. So you could probably Google. Here, I'll hold it up so you can take a picture of it, because you could probably just Google the picture. Let me hold it up so you can take a picture of it. If you take a screenshot of that, you should be able to Google it and find it. So it's kind of cool, right? Kind of cool. Okay, so we're going to use this. And then, like I said, y'all like the baby quilt. So we're going to take, right? Isn't it cool? Isn't it cool? Hold on. I need... Okay. We're going to my bedroom, guys. Because, like I said, I live in a camper. I have a small space. So, I think I have scissors in there. I always leave my scissors in there. My husband's like, what are you doing? It's like, shh, don't tell nobody. Okay. We're going on walkabout, y'all. We're going on walkabout. Okay. 505 spray. Ta-doom. Here, I'll flip you around so you guys can see my RV. Flip. You can see my RV. Ignore my mess in my sewing room here, guys. Ignore my mess in my sewing room. Look at that stack of stuff I've made here lately, y'all. Thank you, Debbie. So, as you can see, we are covered in quilts. So, we are covered in quilts on our chairs. So, and then I have a stack of quilts on my couch here. Fun quilt up here. My mom's quilt. This is the quilt I made her when she passed away. Or made myself when she passed away. I put her and I in the middle of it. So, and then she made, that was the last quilt squares that she pieced. So, she's a part of that quilt all the way together. So we're going to come up here. Flip you guys back around. I need to take, I got clothes on my bed, so hold on a minute. It said, living in an RV, you only have so much space. You only have so much space. So, let me move this stuff right quick. I'm gonna make my bed right quick. Hold on. Then I'll show you. I'll show you the quilt my husband made. So it's he and I made it together. I showed him how to make a window quilt, and it turned out really, really pretty. So. And he actually quilted it. So he decided not to work for a little while, and he helped take care of my mother. So, and my grandmother. And while he did that, I told him, I was like, well, you know, you could quilt while you're doing all that. So, needless to say, I taught him how to quilt. I even took him to a long arm class because I had a long arm at that time. And he actually long armed this quilt. So, let me flip this around and show you guys. So this is the quilt that he and I made together. And it turned out very, very cool. And like I said, he did this on a long arm. So that quilt square, I'm going to show y'all how to make that quilt square tomorrow. So tomorrow we're going to learn 2 new quilt squares. And that is one of the ones that we're going to learn. So that is one of the ones that we're going to learn. All right, so let's go ahead, flip this camera. We're going to sandwich this baby quilt. So what we need to do first is we're going to lay this backing out. Hopefully it's big enough. I think it's big enough. I hope it is. Hopefully, hopefully. Thinking, yay, it is. Okay. I was say, hoping it was big enough. So what I'm going to do is cut this off on this edge. And then I'll use this small piece for my mug rugs or whatever we call them. Okay. So now we have that piece. Now we need to get our piece of batting. So now I have batting here. Probably be the last piece of batting on there. That's all right. I have more. I have more. Could have had this all sandwiched, but good morning, Miss Nikki. How are you? Thank you for the shares, guys. Thanks for the shares. So we're going to lay this out here. We'll lay the piece of backing on here. That way the piece of backing and batting is the same size. So we're sandwiching a quilt right now. We're getting it all set up so we can get it on the machine, we can start meandering. You're gonna get me it. So I did. Well, I didn't sew up the back, but I do. But yes, the bears are done, Miss Debbie. I'll have to show them to you. We'll have to show them to you. We have 2 bears now, so I'm gonna flip this around so I can cut this edge here. And like I said, we'll get this sandwiched. Makes me hungry. I want a sandwich, a breakfast sandwich. My mother used to work at a restaurant in Colorado, and they made these homemade breakfast sandwiches with this yummy breakfast sausage, homemade breakfast sausage. Oh my gosh, it was like phenomenal. It was like yummy. It was a barbecue joint that she worked at, but she did the breakfast crowd. And on the breakfast crowd, she was a phenomenal cook anyways, but she worked, that was like what she loved to do, was cook breakfast in the morning. So she had a lot of fun doing that. Okay. So now, good morning. Thanks for joining, y'all. Okay, so I'm going to trim this. Okay. So now what we're going to do is, so this is the back. So I'm just going to fold this way. Well, I could hold it that way. Grab this piece. So this piece I'll use again. I'm going to throw down there. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this and we're going to spray that basting spray. We're going to spray that spray on here. Like I said, I use just a little bit and I spray it on the batting. I spray it on that batting. I don't spray it on the fabric. So I'm going to take this, and I use a 505. But I use very light spray. So I'll just take and spray just a little bit on there. And then I take my hand and I kind of push it over. Because even once you've sprayed it, you can kind of pick it up and move it off there too. So then we'll grab this side. That on there. And we'll kind of turn around to the other side. That way we can spray the other side here. Kind of got sprayed there. And as you can see, it was sprayed there, but I can still pick it up. It's just a light, very light adhesive there, guys. Very light adhesive on there. I'll spray this one. Good morning, how we doing? So we are sandwiching this baby quilt so we can go and meander it. So we can go and meander that baby quilt. Because I want y'all to be able to do this meandering too. Because I think you can. Okay, so that one's all sandwiched. What I'm going to do is flip this over and we will add that baby quilt onto here. Really? Sometimes this is the harder part, guys. Okay. There we go. Okay. Now the fun baby quilt, guys. Now the fun baby quilt. Sorry, it takes a little bit to do this. I apologize. So now we will add okay, so now we'll spray this one on. Isn't that cute? It's going to be a cute baby quilt. It's going to be a very cute baby quilt. Okay, so now we have this. So now what we're going to do is, because like this is a bigger piece. This is a bigger piece. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take and roll. I'm just going to roll this up like this. And this is where that jelly roll comes into play, guys. This is where that jelly, or the, not jelly roll, the noodle, the pool noodle. This is where that pool noodle comes into place. So what we'll do is we'll pull it up like this, and then what we'll do is we'll quilt this space right here, we'll stop, and then we'll kind of move it down. I use a 505. I use a 505. Oh, yes, absolutely. Thanks, Carrie. Thank you. Yeah, if it gets on, my husband used to give me a hard time. He goes, what are you doing that on the bed? And I'm like, it just washes out. Yes, and that's a lot of people do. A lot of people start in the middle and work their way out. I start on an edge. I start on an edge and work my way down. That way you're pulling the fabric down this way. So, but everybody does it different. Is there a right or wrong way? No, everybody does it differently. So I've seen people do it from the middle out. I've tried it from the middle out and I've always had an issue with it. And I don't know why. I've tried it that way, but I don't know. But like I said, there is no right or wrong way. Everybody has their own way of doing it, which your way is a good way too. Everybody does it a little differently. Everybody does it a little differently. Thanks for hanging out, guys. Thanks for hanging out. Okay, so we are all sandwiched now. So we have made, we're going to go back to the sewing table here. We have made a, we're going to call it a pot holder. We're going to call it a pot holder. So we have officially made, I'll show you here. So this morning we have done 2 of these. We've made 2 small ones like this. We've meandered those. These are all meandered. Then we moved on to a bigger piece. And we have meandered it. Like I said, this could go in the middle of your table, something like that. And then now we're going to do that baby quilt. Now we're going to do the baby quilt. And I think we're going to use the same color. I think we're going to use the same color on there. So let's go back over to this sewing machine, y'all. Y'all ready to have some fun? This one will take a little bit longer. It'll take a little bit longer, but that's okay. That is okay. Okay, and remember, no, we are not doing in the hoop. I'm doing meandering. I want to show, for people that don't have those embroidery machines, I want to show them how to be able to do quilts. So, without the embroidery machine. We did the embroidery machine last week. We'll do it again, too. We'll do it again, but check my YT page out. I have reposted my videos on there. So we are going to freehand this. We are going to freehand meander this. So, and we're going to use the gloves. We're using the gloves. And like I said, go get you some gardening gloves, anything like that. So you are very welcome, Jeanette. You are very welcome. Thanks for hanging out. Okay. You question mark. What's that mean? You question mark. You couldn't find me? If you click the link in my bio, click that link in my bio, you'll see my YT page there and my FB page. You should be able to find it on there. Oh, you're good. No apologies needed. No apologies needed. Okay. So, remember, so your feed dog is, not up, down on this. Your feed dog is down on this. And then, we're just doing a straight stitch. Thank you. Good morning. Good morning. I love that little guy. I have to say good morning to him anytime he comes across. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this quilt and we're just going to start drawing with it. And like I said, I have it all rolled up. So with it rolled up, it works a little better when you have a little bit more space, but I live in a fifth wheel. So the toy hauler is my toys. The toy hauler is my toys. So, all right, so let's go. So the gloves the gloves help. You don't have to have them, but they do help. So, and you'll see that they have grippers on the one side. It helps you move that fabric as you're moving around with it. So, you don't have to have them, but they do help. You'll find that when you're quilting like a bigger project, like the quilt, it's harder to move that. It's kind of harder to move that. Good morning. Good morning. So, all right. So let's go ahead and move to the sewing machine here. Yeah. They do, right? I'll tell you, I didn't use them for the longest time. And then when I got them, I'm like, oh my gosh, what was I thinking? So, and like I said, you don't have to buy the quilting gloves, the garden gloves. They have some like thin garden gloves. And I can't remember if these are garden gloves or not, but they have garden gloves that have like stuff on one side of them too. Works the same too. They're, so, but they work out really well. Okay. So we're going to see, hopefully, it's been a while since I have actually meandered a quilt. You're very welcome. You're very welcome. So, okay. So what I did is I have it rolled up. I have it rolled up on one side and then I have a section here. So we're going to come down this section and we're going to start quilting this section here. So, and I'm going to have it sitting in my lap. Okay. So I have the feed dog down and then I have it on a quilting foot or quilting. So, all right, here we go. And I'm going to start on a corner because the corners you end up binding. So I'm going to start on a corner and then we're going to come down and we're just going to start drawing. Rethread. Not the good old days. I think I must have pulled it. Sometimes when I pull the other out there, it ends up catching. So we had to rethread. We had to rethread. That's okay. Let's try this again. Okay, so we're gonna start again. And like I said, we're just gonna start drawing, and stop. My bobbin is not playing nice. Hold on. Okay, try again. The joys, right? Oh, yeah. Hold on. We have a mess. We have a mess. Let's fix this mess first. When your bobbin is messed up, that's what happens, right? That's what happens. See, this is a good thing to see. You know, sewing is not always the fun of, yeah, just everything always works. Everything doesn't always work, so. but that's okay. This will come out of here really quick here. Your seam ripper can be your friend. It doesn't have to be your enemy. It was funny, I left the house one day and my mom and my husband were sitting at a quilt, seam ripping the whole quilt. I felt so bad. I'm sorry. They didn't want to see another seam ripper for days. They're like, nope, we're good. Okay. So we should be good. All right, let's try this again. Third time's a charm, right? Third time is a charm. Third time is a charm. Come on. Try it again. Okay. Sorry about that, guys. Why did I have to seam rip it? Because my bobbin got messed up. My top thread and my bobbin got messed up. So needless to say, it caused some bunching in the bottom. So needless to say, I had to get it all seam ripped out. So we're going to, third time's a charm here. Third time's a charm. Okay, so again, we're going to start in this corner here. Let's start in the corner. Okay. Okay, that sounds better. You always know if your machine is actually sewing good. So we're going to come across here, and I kind of go across the edge, and then I just kind of come down, and then I just start drawing on it. I just start drawing on it here. So, and one thing I've learned, if you guys have minky on the back of your quilt, put saran wrap on the bottom of your machine. So right here, saran wrap it. It'll make it where that minky actually moves smoothly. So, because minky can grab and not want to move. So as we're going around, you'll see that I'm just literally taking and drawing on the fabric here. I'm just drawing on the fabric. Using that needle as your pen. You just use that needle as your pen. And just draw whatever kind of design you want on here. Like I said, this is your pattern. This is your pattern. There's no right or wrong way to do this. If you want to do straight lines, you could do straight lines. If you want to do circles, you could do circles. However you want to do it. They said your feed dog is down on your machine. You just have a straight stitch on here. And you've got that quilting hoop or foot loaded. It's either a quilting foot or a meandering foot. I don't know what you, freehand motion foot. I don't know. I'll have to look and see what the thing is actually called so I can actually tell you guys what it's called. I'm sure one of y'all know the exact name. My problem is I come up with these names for the feet and I'm like, I need that one foot and I call it this, so I name my feet. And then I forget what the original name is. Then I forget what the original name is, so I call it my freehand foot. we're about down to the other side of this. And you're just filling up the spaces. Just filling up the spaces. Kind of meandering on down. Just doing doodle stitch. I call it a doodle stitch. Just doodling. Doodle, doodle, doodle. Like I said, the gloves are a game changer, I'll tell you, because as you can see, you're kind of having to move that fabric quite a bit. And if you have that gripper with the gloves, it helps you hold on to that fabric and move it. So, because otherwise you're kind of slipping across the fabric and it makes it a little harder. Makes it a little bit harder there. I sew right off the edge because you end up, it's also right off the edge of that because you end up putting binding there. So you end up putting binding there. So, okay. So we now have, let me show you guys. So we now have the first row. See, it's all quilted. Does that look, I mean, it looks cool, right? It turned out really pretty. So now what we're going to do is you're going to take and you're going to start rolling. You see how we have this side all rolled? Now we're going to roll the other way. Now we're going to roll that other way. So we're going to take and we're going to roll up this way on this edge. And then that way we can roll back the other way. And the back looks gorgeous too, guys. The back looks gorgeous too. So we're going to roll it out this way. We're going to go one roll out that way. Give me my glove. So now what I'll do is I'll turn you guys back this way. Are you guys going okay? How you thinking? What are you thinking here? I'm thinking because, you know, like I said, you're just doodling. Instead of using a pen to doodle, you're using that needle to doodle. You're just kind of have fun with it. Start with those small pieces. Move up a little bit as once you get comfortable with that small piece, move up a little bit bigger. Do the bigger one. So awesome. Glad. I am so happy y'all are learning. That is my goal. That is my goal for y'all to learn. So that one is my goal. So, all right. So we are going to, I think my needle we're going to rethread this here. All right. So we're going to come across here. Okay, thread that. Yes, you'll have to try it. Let me know how it works out for you. And if you have questions, please let me know. Let me know. Glad you're learning stuff. I am so happy you're learning. Like I said, I do repost on YT, the link in my bio. If you click the link in my bio and you scroll down, you'll see my YT page. My FB page is at the bottom. You'll see all my pages there. And there's a bear pattern from yesterday. It's a free bear pattern. It was my grandmother's bear pattern. You can go watch that video again too. So, okay. So now we have, this is where we sewed to last time. So we have this, we're going to roll that up a little bit. So now we have this next space. We have this next space here that we're going to quilt. So we're going to come up here and you're going to kind of hold here. So now you're going to use both of these sides as your, what do you call it? Thank you. I appreciate that. As your, what do you call it? I forget, gripper. We're just going to call it a gripper, guys. Sometimes I can't think of words. Thank y'all for your help for those words. Okay, so we're going to start right at the edge because like I said, you put your binding on the edge, so you're not going to be able to see it. So we put that binding on the edge. So we're going to go ahead and start this. So we're going to go ahead and start this, and you're going to just start moving. Start moving it along. And I just broke my thread. Let's try this again. We're going to put you there. So like I said, sometimes you end up moving too fast, too slow, and you're breaking your thread, but it's okay. It happens. It happens. On your face. Hey. Make sure that the bobbin is okay. Bobbin's okay. Okay. Just making sure. Okay. Okay. So now we're going to go. We're going to start again, guys. Okay. So here we go. Okay, so just keep drawing, and like I said, we're going to use the two sides here to hold where we go. Just make sure you don't go too fast. If you go too fast, you'll end up breaking the thread like we just did. See, learning process, y'all. Learning process. So we'll just keep moving down. Once you get past that first one, it makes it kind of easy. And you'll see, we just keep drawing here. Just keep drawing right in there. Just kind of fill those spaces up. Just kind of curved lines. You try with this, with meandering, you kind of want to have curved lines. But like I said, if you want straight lines, you can have straight lines. If you want to do stars, you can do stars. You can pretty much do anything you want on this. You just kind of, however you want to do it. And however you want to do those squiggly lines. So just keep going here. And this is a baby quilt. We have done a pot holder. We're going to call it a pot holder this morning. Then we moved into like a centerpiece for your kitchen table or your dining room table. It's cool. Cocopellis. Who doesn't love cocopellis? I'm sure there's people that don't like cocopellis, but that's okay. Then we're going to keep going here. I'm loving this cow. This cow is cute. Cow is cute. Cute, cute, cute. And if you have designs on your fabric, you could actually stitch around those designs if you wanted, instead of actually doing like a meandering on it. There's so many different things that you could do. So you see, we could actually go and stitch around that ear instead of doing this, but we already started the meandering, so we're doing it this way. We're doing it this way. And being you sandwiched that quilt and you sprayed it with that 505, it kind of keeps that backing fabric and the batting and everything all sandwiched. So makes it kind of nice. Keep going, just doodle, 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 guys. Just keep doodling. What'd you do this morning? I just drew doodles. And you want to try and keep how big of a design you're doing about the same. So you don't want to do like small, do a row that's small meandering, and then go to your next row and do a large meandering, because then it'll look kind of off. So whatever size of hoop loops you're doing here, you want to kind of try and keep the same size of loops as you go down the quilt. That way it kind of all looks the same. And I'll show you once we get done with this row, we'll show you both rows. And hopefully I didn't mishap and talk, because I'm pretty sure I'm pretty much keeping the same size of loops here. Like I said, they don't have to be exactly the same. You can make the loops however you want. However you want on there. So just kind of make them around the same size is all. Because I can pretty much guarantee you none of my loops are the same. None of mine are the same. I just start drawing. I just start drawing there. And then I go right off the edge. I sew right off the edge there. Okay. Okay. So now we're going to come back and I'll show you guys. Come back here. So I'm going to show you. So we have that first 2 rows done. Can you tell where the first 2 rows are? Not really. It all just kind of, it all kind of conjoins. It all kind of conjoins there. Isn't that the coolest thing? It works out really well, and it stitches fairly quickly. Stitches fairly quickly here, guys. So we're gonna move down to the next row. We're gonna move to that next row here. They said you wanna, so you're rowing on, row that boat, rolling, we're rolling. We're rolling on one side and rolling on the other side, guys. Okay, so now we're just a straight stitch, just a straight stitch. It's just your straight stitch is all it is. So you have those speed dogs down, and then you just use a straight stitch, because if you use a different stitch, it's not gonna work very well. So, all right, so you start at the edge again, and then just start drawing. We're gonna keep drawing here, guys. And however big a space you want to do, you can do. It pretty much depends on how big of a bed you have on your sewing space you have on your machine. So this one is, I think it's about 19 inches of throat space on this machine, I think is what it is. So I'd have to measure again, but I think it's 19 inches of throat space there. So squiggle lines, doodle, doodle, doodle. We're doodling all the way down the end of this quilt here. I said I hold on to the both of the folds kind of as a handle. Kind of as a handle as we come down, so. Keep moving along that quilt. I think that's the pig. The pig is cute. All of these animals on here are just the cutest thing. This is going to be a cute baby quilt for somebody. I will post, I usually post all my stuff. I got to get some stuff posted on my website, y'all. So. We get down to the end here, and once you get done there, you're just going to sew right off the edge. So right off the edge there. That way, when you do bind it, have a good day. When you do bind it, you're just binding that stitch over. So again, we're going to fold this over to where we just stitched, fold this one open, and go to your next row. Go to your next row there. So we're going to come down here. And everybody has a different way of doing this. Everybody has a different way of doing this. So we're going to start again. Just keep drawing, guys. Just keep drawing. Just keep drawing. We're drawing, guys. That's a little goat there, I think. I think he's a goat. I don't know, all the animals on here are so cute. Very, very cute, guys. So tomorrow's live, we're going to do two different quilt blocks. we're gonna do 2 different new quilt blocks I'm gonna show y'all how to make. And they're easy ones, I promise they're easy ones. We had fun with that last week with the new quilt block. And this one's quilt block that you can use to make a baby quilt, a lap quilt, add things to a panel. I like to do panel quilts. Panel quilts are fun because you just add, you have your centerpiece with that panel, and then you just add other quilt squares to the outside of it. Quilt squares, strips. You just build, make your own design. Make your own design there, so makes it kind of cool. This is a cute pig face, is it not? That is just the cutest. Cute, cute, cute. I love the baby ones. I love the baby stuff. The baby stuff is fun. Gotta keep quilting, gotta keep quilting. I'm gonna have to come up with a new song, guys. Not that I could sing. You ain't gotta tell me I know. I know I can't sing. When I was a kid, I went into choir. I guess it was in high school. Went into choir. I was in there one day and the teacher kicked me out and he goes, "There is no hope for you. You might as well just go to study hall." I'm like, I thought that's what choir was for. Okay, I guess that tells me. So, okay, right off the edge, guys, and cut it right there. So we're going to cut it right off the edge. Okay, so we're going to keep going. So we're going to fold this one over. Fold this one over. Go down. And then start right there on the edge again. Start right there on the edge. Just keep drawing. Just keep drawing there. Like I said, you're just doodling. All we're doing is just doodling. They call it meandering, but it's freehand quilting, y'all. Freehand quilting. And if you want to practice, get you a piece of paper and just start drawing on it. Just start drawing on that piece of paper. And then, and I'll show you what we did earlier. I'll show you what we did earlier. So, but that's all you're doing is you're using that sewing needle as your pen. Your sewing needle right there is your pen. So you just take that pen and you take your piece of fabric and you start drawing. Just start drawing curved lines. Just do curved lines. And y'all, this is good therapy. I'll tell you, I can sit and meander all day long and I'd be happy. I would be totally happy, y'all. I don't know, it's just being able to see what you can make is kind of fun. Kind of fun. Just keep drawing swirls as you're going down. Just keep drawing swirls as you're going down. There's a pig. Hi, piggy. I did one quilt. Oh my gosh, that was crazy. I did one with a really, really tight meander. Oh my gosh, that took me forever to do. And the bad thing is once you start it that way, you gotta finish it that way. You can't change it. So the majority of things that I quilt this way. I do a bigger meander, and then with the bigger meander, you don't take all day. I like to get things done. So now we're gonna go right off the edge of this thing again, and then cut that. Come back, and then we're gonna fold again, and then fold this one open. We're getting close to the edge here, guys. Fold that one open. I think I may turn this around. That way you guys can see, because I think that one is... Yep, we're to the edge there, guys. We're to the edge. So now we're gonna finish this section, because this is all we have left is this right here. So we're gonna go ahead and meander that whole thing there, guys. So we're gonna start right there at the edge. We're gonna come across. We're just gonna close this space up, like I said. So once you get it done, you really won't be able to see where those rows join. keep the size of meandering you're doing, just keep those loops the same size. Just keep those loops the same size and you'll be good. Keep those loops that same size. And like I said, once you've done it a few times, you'll get the hang of it. And you will break thread. You will break thread. It's okay. Just keep going. There is days, I'll tell you, I'll sit there and try and meander and stuff. Yeah, it doesn't work out very well because needless to say, I sit and break threads. Walk away. Just walk away. If you have issues like that and they just keep breaking, just walk away and come back in like an hour. And things will work for you. Things will work for you. Sometimes sewing when you're mad or aggravated at your machine doesn't work out very well. I find that if you get to that point, just walk away. Go take a break. Because I think your machine knows. It's like, okay, you're not in a happy mood. Go away. You need to come back when you're in a happy mood. I don't know. I mean, I'm a happy-go-lucky person most of the time, so I don't have issues, but every once in a while I get a little aggravated and my sewing machine tells me, go away. Come back when you're happy. Come back when you're happy. So we're just going down this side, and you're gonna keep meandering. I said keep the same size of loops. You gotta keep the same size of loops as you go down. Keep the same size of loops. Keep going here. Getting to the end of this quilt, y'all. So officially in 2 hours, we have officially made 2 pot holders, a centerpiece for your table, and we have quilted a baby quilt. Is that not fun? This one is going to be cute. I can't wait to see exactly what this looks like once we get it all stitched here. We are almost to the end. This is exciting, guys. This is exciting. I get excited. As you'll find out, I get excited over quilting things. Like, oh my gosh, it works. It's like my husband gets home, I'm like, look, 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 look. He goes, okay. I'm like, no, you gotta look. It's kind of funny. So I have enough space here to pretty much do a baby quilt, I can do a lap quilt. Pretty much anything bigger than those lap quilts, it makes it kind of hard for me. So, but when I'm doing quilting in the hoop, I can do a bigger one on quilting in the hoop, because quilting in the hoop will go a little bit different. And we'll have to do another live on, well actually next week, somebody has requested a live on doing blue tiles. So I think next week we may do a live on doing blue tiles, so. I went over my line. I wasn't paying attention what I did. Oh well. It's okay. Okay, so we're right to the edge. And remember, we're going to quilt all we want here. And we're going to sew right off that edge. We're going to sew right off that edge. Because we're going to trim it. We'll trim it there. And then, so yes, this is just a sewing machine. So, I mean, it's a sewing embroidery machine, but you can take and do this with your regular sewing machine. As long as your feed dog, as long as your feed dog will drop down. And a lot of times on your regular sewing machine, let me show you, let me flip this around. So this right here, the feet, this little, what'd you call it earlier? Somebody called it something anyways. So your feed dog right here, that goes back and forth. You know, you can use a denim needle on there. I just have an embroidery needle on mine. You don't have to. If you do a thicker quilt, you know, if you have a high loft batting, you'll probably want a what do you call it? You can use whichever. You can use regular thread. You can use embroidery thread. It's your choice. It is totally your choice. So when I used to long arm quilt, I actually used cotton thread on the bottom in the bobbin, and then I used embroidery thread on the top. So that it's just, you know, everybody has their own choice on how they want to do it. So shall we see what this baby quilt turned out like? Let's see what the baby quilt turned out like. I need to drink a coffee right quick. It's cold, but oh well. All right, let's see what this turned out like. Oh my gosh, guys, look. Do you see that? How cool is that? And look, I'm gonna hold it up closer. Do you see the stitching? Is that so cool? Oh no, you don't have, it's not intimidating. Trust me. Like I said, so here's the back of it, guys. Here's the back of it. There is the back. Isn't that cute? Very cute. So now all you have to do is trim it and bind it. I might have to do another live on binding because now we got a few things that needs binded. So we've officially done. So let's do this. I'm going to hold this up. So we have the big baby quilt. We did the big baby quilt. We did a centerpiece for your table. We did a centerpiece for your table. And then we did a couple of pot holders. So start small, y'all. Start out small. If you start out small, then you can practice. That's a good thing to practice on, is your small ones. Practice on your small one. And it's a good way to sandwich too. Yeah, the flow. Oh, thank you very much. That's so sweet of you. Thank you. Thank you. And like I said, get a piece of paper here. I'm going to show you again. You get a piece of paper. Get a piece of paper like this. And this is how your first rag quilt was 6x7 and 10-inch squares. You don't know how to start. Yeah, that was big. So get you a piece of paper like this. Get you a marker. And literally, this is what you're going to be doing on your quilt. This is what you're going to be doing on your quilt. So you just start here and then just start drawing lines. Just start. And this is how you're going to be quilting. So this is a good way to start practicing. So just draw a line like this. And this is what you're going to be doing on that quilt. Because instead of a marker or a pencil or a pen, you're going to be using that needle to do that. You're going to be using that needle to do that. So I did get a lot done today, Miss Cynthia. So like I said, this is what you're doing with your needle. This is what you're doing with your needle. So you're using, instead of using a marker to draw, you're using your needle to draw. So that was fun, guys. That was so much fun. What a fun live. I mean, how much can you get done in a small amount of time? And like I said, make little mug rugs. You can do little mug rugs. Like I said, we did little mug rugs the other day. You can make little mug rugs. So make mug rugs, pot holders, whatever you want. Just take and sandwich some fabric together. It doesn't matter. You can use whatever, or you can use quilt squares that you've made. Sandwich those quilt squares together and take and do the mirandering on them. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate y'all. So this has been a lovely morning. This has been so much fun. So much fun. So tomorrow morning, guys, I have the schedule up there. We are going to learn 2 new quilt squares. I'm going to show y'all 2 new quilt squares. I think I know what I'm going to do. So tomorrow morning, we will be learning how to do those new quilt squares. We may piece a few of them together, see what we can get pieced. Who knows? Maybe we'll quilt a couple of them. I don't know. We'll see how much time we have. We'll see how much time we have on there. Again, I repost my lives up on the YT page. You can click on the link in the bio. You'll see my page. If you scroll down, let me show you guys. I will show you guys the, I'll show you where that YT page is. Hold on. go back here. That way you guys can see how to get to my YT page. Okay, so the link in my bio, flip around. Okay, it currently has the bear pattern on there, but if you scroll down on here, you'll see that YT page, my TT page, and my quilted, this is the FB page. So, and this is my website. So if you want to go to the YT page, click on that YT page. It will take you over to my page. And as you see, I've got the making the bears on there, making mug rugs on there, making rope bowls on there. So I'm trying to get my learning to bind quilts on there. So I'm trying to repost all my lives on there so you guys can go back and grab those. So, and y'all are awesome. I'm up to 111 subscribers. So thank you all for that. I'm hoping this morning that I hit 5,000 on my TT page. My goal is to hit 10,000. That is my goal. And I'm hoping one day I will hit there. I know I will. So all y'all are awesome. So I will see y'all tomorrow. Thanks for hanging out and doing Mirandering. This is just awesome. So y'all have a wonderful day and I will see y'all tomorrow morning. Bye.